Good morning, everybody. I was reading an article this week called Private Industry Aims to Fill Demand for Space Threat Intelligence. And it discusses how commercial innovations could help space domain awareness or situational awareness for the DoD and intelligence community. It summarized some vendor concerns and also some of the threats that are in space at the moment. So what was interesting to me about this article was really the security implications. So it starts off talking about vendors concerned of sole sourcing from services from big name contract companies and kind of pushing out the little guy. But really the security implications of this was that there really is not a great space situational awareness picture. And there's a good quote from an Undersecretary, Eric DeSaltis, saying that there's not precise enough, our situational awareness is not precise enough to be able to differentiate between benign and potentially nefarious activities. And as the community grows from what was typically a government procured satellite process to using commercial or industry professionals to help provide services and intelligence information to the government, this could be a big thing. So recently, for physical security concerns, which is crazy considering that we're talking about assets hundreds of miles over our heads, having physical security concerns on the actual space vehicle is because recently China has demonstrated its ability to move one of its old, burnt up, non-operational GPS or Baidu satellites, I think it's called, out of orbit and into a junk orbit where it can't get in the way of anything. But that raises questions about what else can they move. And then other information security concerns come from operations like the Russians operating in close proximity to U.S. satellites. And while this may not be as large of a concern for, let's say, a national asset, I was more thinking about as commercial services become SATCOM based and move their services to those SATCOM links. What is the weight of cybersecurity versus profit margin? As we know, those are going to be big concerns with commercial companies, that they may be more risk acceptance, risk tolerant than risk averse. So how do we protect that intellectual property, that proprietary information, that personal information as it starts flowing? Because another article I read, not related to this, but was that Apple iPhone 14 users are now going to be able to utilize a SATCOM link when out of network coverage to call 911 essentially and call for help. So that's only their intro to the market. There's also Microsoft Azure products that are going SATCOM based. Google's starting SATCOM space based stuff. So as these industry professionals are both providing services to the government where they'll have security requirements, what other security requirements are they going to not impose on themselves? And that's kind of where I was looking, where my thoughts were for the article this week. So I see I'm kind of over time already, so I will wrap it up. Thanks.